Hello, hello, hello. It's Anne Lewis, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, based on the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, Australia. I teach card making and scrapbooking and love sharing my passion with each of you. Thanks so much for joining me today. Tonight we're going to be doing, as always, or as nearly always, a step-by-step video. I will be sharing my favourite tips, tricks and techniques to make card making even more fun for you. Each of the products I feature tonight, and I think it's just about all of them, will become available on 1 May, which is Tuesday, I think, 1 May. So we've only got, 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks to wait until the release of the new catalogue. Now, so this is a sneak peek, but I am showcasing the 2024-26 in colour 6x6 designer series paper, and I'll show you the beautiful colours here. Now, if you can hear me, let me know. I didn't turn on because we did have a bit of a technical glitch last week, so definitely let me know. Now, I'll just put the cards out of the way for a second. I do actually have 4 cards to share with you, but 3 are going to be the step-by-step. Hi, Glenda. Hi, Glenda. Hi to the 2 Glendas. So this is the gorgeous paper. And I have to say, this is my favourite design in the pack. There's 40 sheets in the pack. But what I've noticed is my 2 favourite colours is, I should be telling you what they are, and I'm probably going to forget them. Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, Seaside Splash, Shy Shamrock, and Petunia Pop. That's what I think they are. Anyway, I'm pretty close to that. Has it got on the back of this? What are they? Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, Shy Shamrock, and Summer Splash. I was right. Can hear you. Thank you. I don't have to cry this week then. Hi, Myrtle. How are you? Not that I cried last week, but I was threatening to when nobody could hear me for quite a few minutes. So this is the gorgeous paper. Now, every year, well, recently anyway, Stampin' Up have been putting out some designer series papers in 6x6 that kind of go together. They've got a whole lot of different patterns and they're very neutral. And I really, really like this idea. And I didn't buy any last year and I so regretted it. So this year I dived into the in colours to show you how gorgeous they actually are. I'm just going to bring the cards back. Now, my online store link, where these will be available from the 1st of May, yep, rocking the boat here, from the 1st of May, is available in the description. But what I think makes these cards so good is you can actually use your own stash, which means that some of your favourites from your stash will work for these. It doesn't need any special paper, and I really kept it so simple it doesn't even need any dies tonight. So I think you will enjoy it. Now, again tonight I will be doing a random draw. So someone who leaves a comment will receive a card from me in the mail. Now, the last 4 weeks have gone out. They went out a couple of days ago. I've been a little busy. And as you probably guessed, the more comments that you make, the more chance that you actually have of getting a card sent in the mail. Now, everyone reassures me that these cards, when they receive them, actually look so much nicer than what they do on my video, which doesn't really surprise me because lighting is always the big issue. And whilst you can see quite clearly with the lighting, it doesn't necessarily give the best colour and some of the detail. You know, like when I use Wink of Stella, can't always see it. So let me know where you're watching from, and if you enjoy my live tonight, and if you're on YouTube or Facebook, follow me, and so that you don't miss out on any future projects. Now I'm going to, hi Betty, how are you? So let's get started. Now I do have a fourth card, which I'm not going to show you yet. This is my third card because it's a little stepped up. And whilst these cards kind of look simple, I do always say to you that sometimes simple can be a little challenging because you've got to get the lines right. And you can see how important the lines are on both of these cards. On the third card, it doesn't matter as much. Now, I'm going to, I'm not even sure which card I'm making this time. I'm making this one. So I'll put that one out of the way, put that one up there so you can see what we're working towards. And I'm going to change up the colour. This time I'm going to be using Shy Shamrock. You say that really quickly. That is not the easiest card. And I've got some of the in-colour ribbon as well, which I really love. This comes in each of the 5 in colours, but I do really like it. So let's swap this colour out so you can see the difference that colour actually makes to our projects. Now I will bring my trimmer back over. Hi, Marianne. Marianne saying on the mainland. I'm not sure what she... Oh, yes, she would be from the mainland, actually. Because I'm, well, in theory, it is a bit of a theory. I live on Kawana Island. It's not exactly what you would picture as an island, but it does meet the definition of an island. I'm hoping that's the right size. Yes, it is. Now, this card I have made, the card base is 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. I've got all my measurements here. I'll turn that back over, grab my bone folder because it always makes these folds so much nicer. And you can always make sure that, because whenever you score it with your trimmer, it is sometimes slightly off. So this is the way of getting it, dare I say, use that word, perfect. So there's my card base, which is in the Shy Shamrock. And I've got, I'm just going to turn it back over. I've got this basic white layer, which is 3 7/8 by 5 1/4. So this is my 3 7/8 by 5 1/4. So what it actually does, that size, is leave a 1/4 of an inch border. So 1/8 of an inch on all sides. Now I'm going to grab some of this paper. I needed some more paper. I'm going to have to grab some. I didn't put it all out. Didn't pick this up very well. So what my first side is going to be this one down here. So I'm cutting my cardstock at 4 7/8 by 1 7/8. So that's my first line down there. So I'll just do the 1 7/8 first, and then I can get rid of this piece, because these come from 2 different sheets of designer series paper. I'm going to have to find the right sheet now, because, you know, I thought I had all the sheets. So I'm going to make sure it's the right colour. I think it's that one. So I'm going to start a new one, which is probably a bad thing, but it's probably easier. So I'm then cutting this piece is 4 7/8, so let's cut it down. This is how you end up with all those strips. Now, whilst I'm not using strips because mine was a new piece of cardstock, new 6x6 piece, this is how you end up with all those strips and a way of actually using all those little pieces. Every time on a 6x6 piece that you cut something over 3 inches, you got strips left over that aren't as easy to use as you would like. So I'm cutting this at 1 3/4. So where's my 1 3/4? I'll do it from this end. Actually, I'm going to turn this around. I'm not sure why, but I'm going to. So this is one piece, and then this is going to go like that. Then my other piece, which I'm pretty sure that's the right colour, is this. Let's see if I do have a piece of scrap here. Not where I can see it. I know. So this is going to be again 4 7/8 by, but my second piece is only 1 1/2 inches because I didn't want them the same size. It gives that, I don't know, for me, I like the design a little better. Just checking I've got the right paper. So I'm cutting it down to 4 7/8. So I try and keep my measurements as standard as I possibly can. Makes it easy to remember. And hopefully this is cutting 1 3/4 inches off. Okay, so now it's very, very simple. So we'll just turn this back over and you'll see how easy this card comes together. Now I just have to make my borders the same size, so let's have a fiddle. I just have to have a little play with it to get it. I need it straight and like the outside all lined up, and I need those lines lined up. So it's pretty simple, as you saw. Hi Lynette. Hi Margaret. Hi Sharon. I don't know, let's get going. 3 cards, we want to get through them. None of them are hard, but they do just take, oops, that was a bit much came out then. So what I would do then is just spread it down, get it away so it doesn't squish out. No, I've got a Stamper's wipe here, or as you would know it, a baby wipe. I'll just clean that off my, I think this is going to squish out no matter what I do with it. There's a fair bit here. That's okay. Hold up. So simple, this is, as I said, you can do. So I want the same border top and side. And let's throw this piece on. So all I did was turn this over to get, just going to make sure I've got it going the right way. So remember, I'm trying to get those lines lined up. The vertical ones are the most important. And all I did was then put the smaller side up the top. So I've reversed the pattern a little bit here. Always a little hard. Now, as you've guessed, last week and this week, Kelly's not here with me this week. I'm missing her. Did you see what I did? So that piece is going in the bin. I put the glue on the wrong side. So I now have to, let's see how we go. So it's 1.5 inches wide. And so it's going to go here. I got, oh, because I worked it out to make it really simple, I'm going to have to measure this, how big this piece is. Because remember, I worked from the bigger piece. So this is 3 1/8. So it was pretty easy to fix. But normally, I knew you'd done it. I told you. Where did you tell me? Myrtle? That. It's not the end of the earth. Everything's fixable. You know, I always say that. So which is your favourite in colour? The Petunia Pop, which is like the hotter pink? Or, see, you wouldn't even know I made a mistake there. Or the Shy Shamrock. Now, so I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. So I'm using full-size dimensionals if I can find some. Now, I'm also going to, under my breath, I couldn't hear you. You're a long way away, Myrtle. You're going to have to speak up, especially before I do it, not after I do it. Now, this is my second last Facebook Live for a fair while because I go away on holidays. But there is still a joint Facebook Live. Remember, I'm coming from Mexico because I'm catching up with Christine. And we're going to do a question and answer session. But nobody sent me any questions. So you need to let me know. Haven't got this one as perfect. But anyway, that's okay. But you can get the idea of it. So I'm going to, I want to close this up because I do want to show you this just in case you're new to Stampin' Up, because I know I do get some people who haven't been Stampin' Up with us for long, or if they have been with us, they're still not sure how to use our ink pads. So on the back is the label. Hopefully you can see that. So I always pick up, there's like a frame to this. I take the frame off, throw it away if I can, but it's sticking to my fingers. Righto. Then I pick up, I'm using my take a pick tool, I pick up the name Shy Shamrock and put it on the front down the bottom here. And then because sometimes I might have this behind something or I still can't tell which colour it is, I will then, I've got another one here that I will then put on the top so I can always see that. Being the little OCD person that I am, not that I'm really OCD, but I do have a bit of it in me. I always put it down in the same place so they always line up perfect and look good. So that's how I do this. Now, there's still a couple left over. You can use them for other purposes. Now, some people actually put them on in here. If I start putting one of those labels in there, I will never get my hands clean. So we're back to here. I'm going to cut some of this gorgeous ribbon. I don't know how much I'm going to need, but let's grab my, these are old Stampin' Up scissors and I desperately wish they'd bring out some more. They disappeared off the face of the earth. Then I've got, hopefully I've got a, oh, here's my stamp. It says thinking of you. So bring back my Shy Shamrock. These names are hard to say this year. They don't roll off the tongue. I don't think there's too much shy about this shamrock. So Lynette loves Petunia Pop. It's got that purple colour to it, Lynette. I'm not sure it's my favourite. I think my favourite is the Peach Pie and the Pretty in Pink, which I'm really surprised about the Pretty in Pink. Now, I'm using the double oval punch, which is on the retirement list. Unfortunately, it's not discounted, but it is fabulous. And I think it's going to keep getting used, even though it's retired. So I've just stamped the Thinking of You, and I'll tell you which stamp set that comes from in a second, because I've been featuring it the last few weeks. That's there, and can you believe this? I've got to use a new sheet. This is what happens when you don't have scraps. New sheet of cardstock just to punch the background. Now, here we go. So that's just going to sit on there. How easy is that? I mean, I love our dies, but they're quick and easy, and sometimes you want, looking for my glue, sometimes you just want quick and easy. So Lynette does like them all. Oh, so they're so pretty. And that's what I noticed tonight. Now, I'm going to be using black as a contrast on some of these projects. And you'll see, because they're such pretty colours, that it works so well, black as a neutral colour. So let's pop this up. Now, I'm kind of just tying, well, not even tying my ribbon. I felt there was a nice side or a nicer side. Now I look at them, they both look the same. But anyway, so I'm doing it like this. So to keep it together, keep it easy, I'm going to use some tear and tape. I must have some scissors here somewhere. I'm only going to use a little bit of tear and tape just to keep it together. It's probably a little more than what I wanted to use, actually. So let's get this in the right spot. I don't want all that. Just want a little tiny bit. Now I could use a glue dot for this as well. Let's put that there. Again, using my take a pick tool. Now ribbons sometimes the tear and tape doesn't peel as easy as that. I just want this to look nice and even. Right, so that just keeps it together. I'll trim this up. So I want that to look like that. This is going to sit over the top of it. So again, I should have kept that little piece of tape, tear and tape. I might just use glue dots this time. It was already gone in the bin. Everything goes in the bin. Makes clean up a bit easier. So let's just put a couple of these on. Probably easier if I do it like this. I heard it say that the side that is on the outside of the roll is the right side. Well, Glenda, see, there's a bit of good information. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. So let's have a look. So that's the right side. And that's the wrong side. I have to say, when I was picking it last night, it was really clear to me. And then today, it doesn't seem very clear at all. So I haven't done this the same, the ribbon, but that'll be okay. I did mean to do it exactly the same as this one, which means I've twisted it in the holding. Put this here. So what this does is just hide that little I won't say messy bit, but messier bit. I'll go there. I'll grab my ribbon scissors and trim this off at an angle. So there we go. Then on the inside, I've just added. Now, I've been keeping my cards blank on the inside for a little while, just so I can add. I could put anything on this card now. So it could be thinking of you, it's your birthday, or it could be thinking of you, get well soon, or it could be, well, there's so many options, I can't go through them, but I've been keeping them blank. Now, I could add a little strip of cardstock on the inside of this, which would look nice. And I got a little piece here. Look at this. Is this the right colour? Yep. And my trimmer. Now I know this. Whoa, what have I done here? I knocked it. I shifted it just at the last minute. Lucky I saw that. So now sometimes, well, all the time actually, except when I'm live, I would actually have put that on before I glued it down. But I know this piece is 5 1/4. Oh no, it's not. It's 3 7/8. Normally I would cut it a little bigger and then adhere it on before I glued it, but it was a little late before I remembered. Now, normally I cut, if I'm going to cut a piece of cardstock to decorate the bottom or the side of my insert, I do it at 3/4 inch. But if I've got a little scrappy piece sitting on my desk that I can find, it's looking for a home, whatever that width is, that's how I get rid of some of my scraps. So there we go. So card number 1 done. So which colour do you like, the Shy Shamrock or the Peach Pie? Whilst you let me know, I'm going to come back and just give me a second. I need to clean up my desk so I can get the next. What did I do? I'm just through these so I can get my next project here. There's not enough room on my desk to line them up. So my next project is this one here. Sorry, I know you've got an unusual view of me. So, right out. Let's go. So I'm back sitting down. So is this one in pretty in pink? Peach pie, peach pie, peach pie. Oh, there's a few. This is what I mean, everybody. I have probably definite favourites, but not everyone agrees with me. So again, I'm going to be, oh no, I did, this one is Summer Splash, the next one. So I've changed up the colours again. So we're doing this card here. Now I've I've cut the designer series paper. Now this time, when you're working out how to design a card like this, sometimes the even or closest measurement doesn't really work well. So what I've done is basically designed a card, and I had to change the size of my card base. As you know, I nearly always use 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. This one I've made 8 inches because it was just easier to fit 4 even pieces on 8 inches, as you can probably imagine. So it just made the design so much easier. So always think about what works easiest for you. Now, the other thing that I do that makes my life a lot easier is my inserts and my layer on the front. I try and keep the same size, especially if it's a white layer. And that means I can cut two of them at the same time, and I don't have to think about it too hard. So this one, I think I did the wrong card before. So you can see the difference between Summer Splash and Shy Shamrock. So this time I don't think I'm going to have enough paper out of that, so I'm going to have to go diving into my stash again. So I use the different... Is this the... Yep, this is the one I need. Don't think I'm going to get it out of here. Let's think about it. Each one is cut 1 3/4 inches by 1 7/8. Yes, I will. See, it's perfect. So I'm going to take you off so you can't see me just because I'm standing up now. Let's go there. Righto. And it's a bit awkward. I can't change the camera because it's on my laptop. Righto. So now you can see what I'm doing a little clearer. So these pieces, so these 4 pieces here are all cut at 1 7/8 by 1 3/4. So 1 7/8 by 1 3/4. So let's do the 1 7/8 first. 1 7/8. So I think I'm going to have to cut just the smallest amount of this. Now, this is one of those cards again that getting things square is important. So that's 1 7. Oh, that's 1 what was that? 1 7/8 by 1 3/4. So let's. This doesn't seem right. One 7/8. Let's measure this. I'm kind of having a. Rightio. I'm having a 2.5 inches by 1 3/4. So obviously, I'll cut this down. Let's see if we can get this out. So it is 2 3/4 wide. I need to get it nice and straight. 2 3/4. And then, what did I say it was? 2.5, didn't I? 2.5. So this will easy work out. 2.5. 2.5. Now, what I am trying to do though is keep the pattern together. I mean, I can eventually work it out. 2.5. Any comments? Shy Shamrock, You're just making me say Shy Shamrock, ladies. I'm not good at that. Oh, 2.5. Did I cut that one? Is 2.5? Yep. I know. So here's my pieces. I'll put that out of the way just for a second. And so how this comes together is we're going to do that. This has a small bird border. As you see, it's a lot smaller than this is an 1/8 of an inch border, or a 1/16 of an inch all the way around. So this is how it sits, except I haven't got my pattern right. Should not have moved this. I know. Is that it? I have to that piece goes there and there. There's a bonus. And then, so I moved it all around. Oh no. So that's on that side. This sits here. Could you feel my... There we go. So now it's all lined up. Now, what I want to do is just turn these pieces back because, as you see, that's the pattern there. And how I do this, now I don't do this on too many other things, but on this one, it actually works. So I want this corner, this corner. So you can see I just want the internal corners. So I'm going to grab a pencil and I want to go in 1 inch. So can you see I'm using my scorer, my cutting line as my measurement tool. And then I want to turn it this way. Now I do have to be fairly accurate with this. And I find this more accurate doing this. And then when I've got those 2 points, hoping that you, oh, wait a minute, can you see that? Got a point there and a point there. I'm then going to score, only score in between them. So all I have to do is get those points lined up with the cutting. Oh, I didn't get that one very well. That's, might have to just redo that. Oh no. Oh no. So I'm going to, now you can always use your bone folder to fix any small issues. Whoops. And I would rub these out. So all I do is spin it around 90 degrees and then get the other inch. Then line these up. It's a little hard to see, I'm sure. I'm turning that back. So this is the one that I want there. I want this corner. So you can see it's quite quick when I use my trimmer. And I've already got to have it out so I can score. So this is, I mean, all these cards, so I want this corner. All these cards don't use that many supplies. They're a little interesting, which is what I like. And if you, once you get it lined up with the cutting line, it then just clips in. So let's get rid of that. So this is how it's going to come together. I'm going to grab my multi-purpose glue again. Remember, I've got really small borders on this. So if I get the top ones right, it'll be fine from there on in. Let's just double check it. Yep, it's looking pretty good. Hold on. Now, I don't want to glue that fold back, or I don't want to glue it yet. Now that glue won't come out. All right. So remember the fold backs go in the corner. Who likes this designer series paper? Oh, I was looking at your comments. So again, I want that line nice and straight. I'll just add this. I don't know why the glue's coming out so quick tonight. Now, I'm going to grab a rubber because I don't want to see those little spots I made. I made them a little darker than I normally would. I really do like this colour though. And Summer Splash has this lovely sound to it, doesn't it? Let's throw this over here. I still haven't shown you the stamp set that I'm using tonight. Right. Now, I could have stamped on the inside of this before. I've lost my box of goodies here. There they are. I could have stamped on the inside first, but this made it so much easier. But if I leave these floating up, it's going to be hard to stamp. Now, first off, I'm going to grab my burn folder, if I can find a good one, which obviously I've used to work out smooth some of my ink pads out. Now, so this is where you can correct it. So you can just reinforce those folds and make it work like magic so they do line up well. There we go. Then I can do two things. I'm going to add some mini glue dots, only because it's quicker. It doesn't need any drying, so I'm just putting a little spot behind each one. Only one. Not going to. I could have used a little spot of multi-purpose glue as well. Hi Carol, how are you? Good to see you. So Carol says she likes the softer ones, softer shades. The subtles, I suppose. And these are kind of bright subtles, I suppose. And I mean, pretty in pink. There, so there we go. Now I'm just going to find a stamp set. And ink pad. So this time I'm going to introduce the stamp set, and I used it a couple, I think last week. Simply Said, one of our new stamp sets. It is I told you last week it was $35. It's actually $30 in the new catalogue. It has all our standard sentiments, and I love these fonts, but I also like these here. So I'm going to be using Just a Note. And how stunning is this to just turn out? It's quite effective. And I could have had these size pieces of cardstock left over from projects. Now I do have my last project, my very last, not the next one. There we go. Now I wanted to add, so these are some of the bling that goes from the annual catalogue. I'm going to add some actual sparkles. The other one was a flat embellishment. This looks like the right colour. I'm going to use the darker one, even though that's the Shy Shamrock because I think it's going to show better. And this just, I think, makes those corners pop. Now, if by some chance these don't stick, just throw a mini glue dot underneath. And this means if your corners aren't absolutely perfect, nobody will even know. Oh, I've got stuff everywhere here. So now I'll just put this together. Now I'm not going to do the insert for this. You know what it's going to look like. There's no different. I would add a strip of designer series paper which uses up some of my scraps. Oh, I did mean to pop this up. Haven't popped it up. So this one won't. So you'll see the difference that it makes to your card making when you haven't popped it up. So I mean I like it popped up. It gives it a bit more dimension, a bit more texture, but they both look pretty good. So there's this one. Now I've got the, I'm going to close this up. So there's card number 2. Now card number 3 is this one here. And I really like this. It's another easy card. Now, just going to have to clean up a little bit over here. Bring in my box of goodies. So this time, who liked Petunia Pop? We're doing a Petunia Pop background. So I'll grab my paper trimmer. As you see, I use a fair bit. I'm just making sure I've got it cut at the right size. Because basically all my standard card sizes are 5 1/2 by 8 1/4, and this one will turn into a landscape card. And what have I got here? I've got a couple of layers here. That's from the previous card, so I'm going to get rid of that. So this time I've teamed these colours with basic black, and so that we'll see that how much it pops. So I'll put that out of the way for the moment, and let's do these layers. And so you get an idea of what different sizes can mean. This one was 1 inch by 3 1/4. This time I've cut it down. I'm missing one. Hopefully it's in here. It is. This time I've cut it down to 3/4 inch wide. So I thought that would show you just the difference of what size, how size can actually matter. This one, hopefully you can see, I've actually ripped the bottom. So I've got a bit of a tip for how to do that easily and quick. Now I could just tear it, but I do want it all at the same size, so I want these strips to end up being 3 inches. So I want to take 3/4 inch off. So I have a really quick tip. I just use aqua painter, water painter, water pen. Oh, I've got an old one here. I think that's okay. So I just put, and now what I would normally do is actually let it soak in a little bit. All I do is, this has got white on it, that's why it's coming out that strange colour. Let's get my, I'll let that soak in. I'll do them all. This is the one I use for splashes. You know, when I splash, oops, that's a bit much. Obviously grabbed the wrong one. I was getting everything ready. No harm done. I don't want them to go too long and dry. So you can see it's really easy. You get an interesting edge. I don't have to put too much work on it. That one needed a bit more water. And one more. Now, if it was a bigger piece and it was scrapbooking, I'd put great swirls and swishes on it. As you see, it's the one that I use for pigment, white pigment ink. Yeah, so let's go. So I'm going to probably use a similar, how about we use, no, the lines look too boring. Let's just decide which colour order you would put in. Now, the way I chose is I found that for my taste, the Petunia Pop didn't go with the greens as well, whereas the more neutral colours were the Peach Pie and Pretty Peacock. So I want to put these at a different different angle. So which order would you put these in? So tell me what you think. I'm going to have to keep going though. I'm not going to wait. As you see, it's going to be a completely different. Now I'm not even going to arrange it. I'm just going to put them at a big angle. But I will work from one side to the other because I don't want to run out of room on one side. Like that. So I'm going to. So this is just random. I don't think it even matters. You try and put them at a completely different angle, but really, you can only go left or right. So this one, as you see, they don't touch. I probably should have put them a little closer. That's what happens when you don't experiment. Okay, so there we go. Now, this is where that black, because they don't look that special at this stage, this is where this black kind of makes them pop. You can see the difference without it. Add the black. And then I've got a second piece of basic black. Touch of basic black to make them really pop. And there's so many stamps that I could have used for this, but I stuck with Simply Said. And I like just having the torn edges. Adds a little bit of difference. Adds that texture. I'm going to pop this up. Whoops. Doing three things at once. Reading comments. Now, for those that aren't used to these, we don't waste anything, so I just cut these little pieces up. Now, I could also use these in strips, but at the moment I just want them for this. Now, I always put some in the center so my card doesn't collapse. Now, I discussed this a couple of weeks ago, that on the inside of my cards I like 2 layers, and this is the perfect example of, have I got them all off? I like the idea some demonstrators colour them, but I run out of time for that. But it's such a good idea because then you don't have to. Yeah. So then I've added a sentiment, let's celebrate, which again can be anything, for birthdays, for job getting a new job, graduating, or whatever. I'll pop this up again. I'm going to need more of these. Oops. There's one more. So which size strip do you like? Do you like the 1 inch or the 3/4 of an inch? So here we go. Let's put this, I'm just going to center it left and right, top and bottom. Right, so there we go. On the inside, now I could just add that like that, or I can add this black, basic black layer. Now remember, I'm not stamping on these so that they're a bit more flexible, because I send a lot of cards out, but I never seem to have the right one. I have lots of birthdays. Three-quarters of an inch, yeah. And it makes such a huge difference just by changing one little feature. Now, out of the 3, I've got one more card. I'm not going to do one more card, but I've got one more card to show you. Don't forget, whilst I just put this card together, that we've still got the last chance sale on, which is so much stuff out of the annual catalogue at 50 to 60% off. So what's everybody else think? So Carol likes the 3/4 of an inch. Which one would you pick? I think I do like the 3/4. I wish I had to put it at a bit more of an angle, but I still really like it. But I like this. This one just now looks a little crowded for me. So it's really important that we have a go. Now, this one was heat embossed, so I used some Versamark ink, added some white embossing powder, and then used, I thought I had here. Oh, I do have here my heat gun, which someone asked me what a heat gun is. So it actually melts the embossing powder to give it this really, really clear, see, and it actually pops a little bit. So I just plug that in, makes an awful noise. That's why I haven't done it tonight. So my choices are, for the best card for tonight, is this one. Well, I think you went for this one. So which design do you like? And would you make them? 3/4 makes a border around the colours. Yep. So I've got card 1, card 2, card 3. Whilst you decide that, I'll show you my 4th card, which is using exactly the same designer series paper. I'm using also basic black, and you will see how the basic black makes these colours pop. Now, I do have a live video that actually already in existence that shows us how to make this, but I'm going to redo it with these colours, not as a live, but as a recording, and when I'm away, you'll be able to follow this up. So what do you think? So the green one on the left, someone said card number 3, green one on the left. So there's a bit of, so what do you think of this one? So same designer series paper. I've used a mix of patterns and colours. Just placed it on the basic black, and this is Summer Splash. I haven't even decorated the inside because I haven't finished this card yet, but there will be a video coming up in the next few weeks. So bring it back again. Love it. Oh, yeah, I think this is the order I had it, didn't I? Was that the order? Love number 1, Summer Splash. So it must have been that order. Yeah, for me, it's a stunning card. And whilst it looks fiddly, It is actually a really easy card to make. It does have, you know, your fingers get a bit glue, but that's okay. And I've got a few tips and tricks that makes this so much easier and so much neater to make. So I'll put that out of the way. So these are the 3 cards. So Marianne just loves that one. Sharon loves this one. And number 1 here, number 1. Also, this is the popular one. It's interesting because, I mean, for me, I like all 3. They're simple cards and you could use whatever you've got. And if you've got designer series paper, pattern paper packs, most of the time they will always coordinate. And so you can just pick two sheets out. So you can get, for this one, you'd need 3. So you get different, you need 5 actually, if you're going to use all the same pattern, but you could mix that up as well. So thank you very much for joining me this week. Now, don't forget, that was the other thing I forgot to mention, is I've got a mystery host party going at the moment. And if you place an order before the 21st of April, you are in the running to win, basically, whatever the host prize actually is. Now, it is already up to $76. So that means you can order up to $76 worth of products of your choice. I pay the postage, so you don't even have to pay a thing. But the order has to be placed prior to me going away on holidays. Otherwise, you'll never see it for another 2 months. So that's why I've set that time. So Marianne says, Lynette likes them all. Myrtle likes 1. Glenda 1. Marianne says, think I wouldn't stress if overall pattern didn't match in the oblongs. Focuses on the folded corners and sentiment. Yeah. Look, I like all 3 cards, and that's why they were selected for my scrappy cards today. And I mean, you could have done these all in different colors. You could have done these in all different colors, patterns, whatever, as long as it doesn't get too busy. Rightio. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, I will see you next week. Well, it's my last one for quite a few weeks, but I still have the joint Facebook Live sometime between, I'm thinking of the dates here, between the 29th of April and the 4th of May. So send some questions in of what you'd like to know. It can be anything. It can be about card making, crafting, can be about me, whatever you'd like to know. And if I don't get any questions, I'm going to be sitting there with nothing to say. Well, you know me, that's probably not going to happen. Anyway, thanks everybody. It's been a pleasure having you here tonight. Thank you for joining us, and I will see you next Wednesday night for another exciting series of projects. Thanks everybody.